Hi everyone, it's Nanda here, and with great delight today I introduce you to the beautiful Shereen. Shereen's been an amazing friend in my life. We met about a year ago. I gave a bit of an introduction to her in my live today, that she was one of the brains behind the Lives for Living. She's an ex-yachty. She's got a crazy curriculum CV and done all sorts of amazing things. She's now an empowerment coach, and I'm so happy that she's entered the coaching space because she's just so valuable, and you're in for a real treat. So I'll let you introduce yourself, but welcome to the show, Shereen.
Thank you. Hi.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I guess I've done a few different things in my life. Worked in a few different industries: beauty, construction, yachting. Now getting into coaching. And yeah, I've had quite an interesting journey the last few years. I left yachting for a little while. Did a few of my own business things, which I guess we'll go into today, why I left.
Yeah.
And yeah, now I'm back. I do dabble in yachting a little bit, mainly some crew cooking for my favorite boats. But apart from that, yeah, it's mainly coaching now.
And which is amazing because it was your destiny. So it's really great that you're managing to do both. And I mean, that's the beauty of yachting, is that when you love it and you find a few good boats, it's nice that you can, like me, I still go back and race. Luckily, I don't. That for everyone else, I don't cook much, but unless we're really offshore. But the fact that you can go back and still have an input. But do you want to share it? Do you feel comfortable sharing a little bit about your story and how you transitioned from your experience for being on boats to setting up Lives for Living and becoming an empowerment coach? Like, there was obviously something pretty big that happened in that journey.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So about 4 years ago, when I was in between jobs in St. Martin, I was involved in a sexually motivated attack, which left me with really bad post-traumatic stress. It was like a really violent life or death fight. So it was really challenging at the time to work on boats because I was just struggling with post-traumatic stress, which takes you anything from it's basically extreme fight or flight in the normal life. So you'll be in a normal situation and in your mind, so you think someone's going to try and kill you, or rape you, in my case. So obviously not having a support system on boats, it made the environment really challenging for me. And I noticed really early on that this wasn't going to support me throughout any healing. Also, one of my best friends is a qualified trauma psychologist, and her advice was get yourself off the boats for a little while. So I did. I did a few other different jobs. I went back into marketing. I went back into beauty. I wrote a book. I wrote a couple of books. One about beauty products, which I used to do workshops on. And yeah, I dedicated about 3 years of my life to really just trying to unpick all this post-traumatic stress. And in the same year, my father passed away as well, so I had that added on top, and there was a lot for me to process, and I really put my well-being first, and I worked through a lot of different therapies. I blogged about my whole journey on my blog, Trauma on Tour, so you can really see the really raw emotion, because I think I was scared to show this at the time. I didn't want to be known as that person who's like really erratic and emotional, thinking that I guess I couldn't get through. So that was about 3 years. I then went back to work on boats last year, which was good. And for me, although I knew that I wasn't going to be on boats forever, I needed to prove to myself that I could go back into that environment. So that was more of a personal challenge for me. And it's cool. I love working on some boats with my favorite crew on some passages, but that lifestyle it's not for me anymore, which is why I after so many of my friends and yourself, Amanda, telling me that I needed to go into coaching, I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this now. So that's where I'm at.
You're so gifted, and yeah. And so, can you give me a little bit of coaching right now? I'm going to throw you. You didn't expect this, so I'm throwing you in the deep end. But let's say we're working together, and I'm the stew. I'm quite new. I've had a bit of trauma at home. Someone I loved just died. No one on the boat knows anyone from my home or even my last name or where I'm from. We've had the boss on board for 2 months, and you can see I'm starting to struggle. I'm like this, and I'm doing fake smiles and trying to people please, and I'm probably having 5 espressos a day, and I'm laughing at everyone else's jokes. You can see I'm wasting away. I've lost about 5 kilos. What would you say to me? What are 3 things I could do to get through the next month?
Well, first of all, it'll depend if you've come to me or if I'm just seeing this, because I think sometimes if someone is in their coping mechanism and they're not breaking yet, to point it out can sometimes make them break when they're not ready for it. So if you've come to me, if I can take us off the boat and have this conversation off the boat, that would be the first thing I'd do. And I would ask, how you feel and what you think you need right now. Like, if you could do anything right now, what would it be? And I would try and see how we can get that, because sometimes that's just to be heard and just to let off steam. I mean, sometimes it's just to scream and shout F you, the world, or whatever it is that's coming out, and just to let that out and have someone hear and listen is really, really beneficial. So that's the first point. The second thing is, I would ask you what little things we can do to help you feel nurtured. So, and this is going to be different for everyone. And I use an exercise called the ACT matrix to do this, and it takes a little bit of thought. For me, just having the space to have a morning coffee on my own was really one of the things that I just needed to get me through the day sometimes. So maybe that's going to the bow and just having that moment, looking out the sea, having that calmness, or whatever it is. Maybe it's listening to a favorite track and just having that moment to really absorb into that favorite track that you have on your phone. It's kind of like, what's your self-care anchor and how can we embed that into like a daily routine would be the second thing. And then I would try and break down the rest of the season into bite-sized chunks. So if we've got boss trips coming up, or if we've got it's a bit hectic and it's back to back, I'd find out where the gaps are in terms of time where we can do things like just indulge in self-care. And then for the rest of it, I would make it so that it seems easier. So instead of it's 2 months back to back, maybe that's broken up by, okay, it's 1 week and then we have a day and we can do these things in that day. And then we have 2 weeks, but in those 2 weeks, we've got 3 or 4 easy days. I'd really kind of focus on those breaks because it's so intense. But if you know that it's going to end, or you can just relax in a bit, then you can make those different milestones. So that's what really helped me. And they would be the 3 things that I would offer.
So amazing. Thank you so much. I feel better already. So I think really emphasizing, I'm kind of laughing because it's like the bowel's going to get pretty busy next week with everyone wanting their 5 minutes. But I love the way was it a space matrix you called it?
The ACT matrix, the acceptance commitment theory matrix.
Well, we're going to have another interview and you can maybe talk to us more about that.
Okay.
But I love the concepts you've given, and yeah, everyone, like Shereen said, find your space, find what, I love the track. Okay, so one last question, because I know you've got to go and jump on a really awesome coaching call. What's your track? What's your good vibe track?
Oh, I've got like a favorite playlist called My Favorite House, and there's a track on it called Can't Do Without You by, I think, Miraboo, I think it's called. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's got it's just got so many different tones, and you can really sink into it, and then it like slowly builds you up through the track, and by the end of it I'm like, yes, ready to go.
My God. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to get you to pop your contact details, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people wanting to catch up with you and have a chat. And I'm sure you're a busy lady, but hopefully you can squeeze a few more guys in. And also, we're just going to put a bunch of links, because I think it'd be really good for some of you guys to check out the blog, Trauma on Tour. I think also some of you would love Shereen's book. She's such an amazing woman, and I'm so glad we get to interview you. And let's do it again sometime. This is fun.
Cool. Okay, definitely.
Yay. All right. Thanks, darling. Speak
Thanks for
soon.
tuning in. Bye.
Bye.